The Packers lost to the Colts. Was the Colts win over the Packers a statement win? What is your impression of the Colts now that they beat the Packers? I want to start with you because you're a Colts hater.
No,
you're a Phillip Rivers hater specifically.
No.
Yes, you are. You're a Phillip Rivers hater. I
want to start by saying I apologize because unlike you, I can admit when I'm wrong. When you're wrong half the time. I want to apologize to Colts fans. I was wrong about the Colts. They are a pretty dominant team. I think it was a great game, though. I think for the most part, I think it was a really great game. I think they was fighting back and forth. I think this win over the Packers, and then they beat the Titans. And they, pardon me, I think they beat the Titans. They beat the Packers. I think these wins are now starting to put the Colts in that upper echelon area in the AFC. Not the Steelers and the Chiefs, but I think now you're starting to talk about them right under them as a team that can really make it difficult. So I like this win. This win was really impressive, and I think the Colts can make a run in the playoffs. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon, and I think they'll probably win their division.
Stay where you're at. Nobody wants you on the Colts bandwagon.
You're a Jets fan.
You stick with the Titans like you picked them. I can't even believe
you're a Jets fan.
I can't even believe you're hopping off the Titans bandwagon when the Colts and Titans have the same record right now. But nonetheless,
I like them. They're more aggressive.
The Colts, this was a statement win. And I'm not even sure if this is more a testament to how good the Colts are or how much pretenders the Packers are. Because I've been saying the Packers are pretenders since the beginning of the season. I don't care about the record. I don't care about their wins. I think the Packers are pretenders. They won't make it to the Super Bowl. But when you look at the Colts, they have the 5th-ranked defense. They finally climbed in and now have a top 10 offense, even though their offense is it's not that good. Like, I think that if they play a good defense, they won't be that good offensively like they were against Green Bay. But I just feel like their defense has to get a majority of the credit. Sure, their offense was good. Jonathan Taylor finally had a pretty good game, one that he hadn't had in a while. But it's just their defense, man. It's suffocating. You got guys like DeForest Buckner, who was huge for them. But I think a bigger part of their defense is their secondary. They're so disciplined. They're well coached. You got guys like Xavier Rhodes, Rock Ya-Sin, Julian Blackmon, who's a rookie, who's fantastic. And then you got a guy like Kenny Moore. I mean, there was an interception that Rock Ya-Sin had on Aaron Rodgers where he totally baited him on the play. It looked like kind of a deep rod. I don't know who he was throwing it to. Was he throwing it to Devontae Adams or I'm not sure who he was throwing it to, but Rock Ya-Sin baited him perfectly into that interception. And Rock Ya-Sin is a second-year player. So for him to be doing that is pretty amazing. I mean, their defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, has done a great job at coaching this defense, and that's the reason why the Colts are where they are. Do I think it was a statement win? I'm not sure. I think the statement win was more against Tennessee. That was a statement win. Versus Green Bay, I expected the Colts to win. I picked the Colts to win in the pick'ems. So I was expecting them to win. I'm still not sold on the Packers, and I don't think I'm going to get sold on them anytime this year.
I think the craziest thing about the win, I had to pull this stat up. Aaron Rodgers in his career is 95-4 with a 2-touchdown lead. So for the Colts to come back against him, who, obviously with that stat, he's been so proficient with a big lead. For them to come back, it was super impressive. And I think that this was their statement win. I think that the Titans game kind of put people on notice, including myself. And this game really showed, okay, they're here to compete, and they're really here. I think that I've never been too high on Phillip Rivers, and especially at this point in his career, I'm not that high on him. I think if they still had a guy like Andrew Luck at quarterback, they could be Super Bowl contenders this year.
No doubt about it.
I don't think that they are at that level right now just because I don't know that they have the firepower that a team like the Chiefs, who we'll talk about in a few minutes, have. But they'll make people's lives definitely tougher come playoff time. I think not only are they a playoff team, I could definitely see them getting an upset in the playoffs.
They can get an upset. They just won't. That's as much as they're going to go. The Colts have a ceiling because of that offense. That's what it is.
Exactly. Because that defense is one of the best units in the league.
And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like whenever I watch the Packers in primetime, whether it be last year when they faced...
They lose?
No, not that. They do lose. I think they're 500 in primetime, Aaron Rodgers is, and he's 500 on the road. But when you watch the Packers, like last year versus the Lions, Monday Night Football, there's always these questionable calls that always land in the Packers' favor. I damn near thought the Colts were about to blow the game, which is they had the game sealed. They just had to run out the clock, and they kept getting penalty after penalty after penalty. I mean, Packers had 7 penalties. The Colts had 8 penalties. But the Packers' penalties accounted for 45 yards, while the Colts' penalties accounted for 116 yards.
I will say, though, all of those holding calls on the Colts at the end of the game were holding calls. You can't dispute it.
last year, the 2 face masks against Trey Flowers were bogus calls.
Yeah,
Detroit should have won
I'm
those
not
games.
talking about the past. I'm just talking about last night.
I know what you mean, but I just feel like things kind of always go in the Packers' favor in terms of these calls. I mean, even against I feel like in the playoffs they had a favorable call go their way, I think against Dallas. I'm not too sure if it was against them, but they have these favorable calls go their way. But I just think that I kind of agree with you now that you said it. The Titans was kind of a game that put people on notice because you were not sold on the Colts even after they beat the Titans, but now that they beat a team like the Packers that is nationally recognized, that's more of a statement win.
I'll say this. I picked the Colts this week, and if they did not beat the Titans, I would not have picked them. There's no question about it. For me, that Titans game really showed me that they could hang with the big dogs, and then this game told me, okay, like not only can they hang, but they can win a couple of these games. And I think it's the offense that's going to hold them back from being one of those elite teams in the league, but I think that they can hang with anybody.
It really just depends on the development of Michael Pittman, probably.
I think he's going to be a star, too. And
I think he's going to be really good, but it just depends because is T.Y. that bona fide number 1 guy? He's not.
Not anymore.
Not no more.
Like, and Michael Pittman, like, who's their second receiver? Who's their go-to number 2?
They got to figure that out. It's not Pascal.
They don't know who it is. Exactly. Like, Pascal is pretty good, but is he your number 2 that you rely on all the time? He's not.
No. And I think it's funny you bring up Pittman because in any other year, he would be getting, big recognition, but considering the class that there has been this season, it's hard to get any recognition because he probably hasn't even been a top 5 rookie receiver. He also has to deal with the injury. I understand that, but I think he can be a real guy for that offense moving forward. And I said that I wanted him to be a Jet, but unfortunately he didn't get to their pick.
Hey, what's up, guys? You just finished watching a clip of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran.
My name is Jack Barteck.
My name is River Brown.
And we are your hosts for this podcast. We want to thank you guys for watching the clip. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share if you would care to, because it helps us grow. And we're trying to make this a full-time thing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting, and see you next time.